Hello, everybody. My name is Brad Gilmore. Welcome to the collection. Today on the show, we are talking to the Magic Man, the man himself, a really myth. We say man, myth, legend. This man is a man, myth, and legend. Quite seriously, this is David Blaine. If you don't know, David Blaine is an illusionist, endurance artist, and an extreme performer, best known for his high-profile feats of endurance and has set and broken several world records. He's a street magician. You might have seen him on Instagram or on YouTube having Drake or Harrison Ford and blowing their minds with incredible magic. He does that on the Tonight Show as well with Jimmy Fallon. I'm excited to talk to him as a longtime admirer of the art form and the medium of magic. We're going to talk to David Blaine about his new Las Vegas residency. So let's get to it right now. This is The Collection. And he joins me right now to talk about his first ever residency in Las Vegas, Nevada. That starts on September the 30th at Resorts Casino. You can get tickets at davidblaine.com. David Blaine joins us this morning. David, man, just an honor to talk to you.
Hey, good morning, Brad. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. You are obviously known the world around. Everybody knows the name David Blaine. You're going to start a residency. Now, most of the time when people think about magicians, they think, or illusionists. You know what? Let me stop right there. What is the term that you prefer? Do you prefer illusionist, magician? Does it matter?
I'm not part. It's whatever anybody wants is fine.
Okay. I just wanted to check with you. But when you think about an illusionist or a magician, Vegas is really the home for that. There's a couple things that Vegas is really great for. I guess more than a couple, but there's nothing like a boxing match in Las Vegas, and there's nothing like a magic show. You've never done a residency in Las Vegas. Why was now the right time to do that?
So, my idea of doing something in Vegas was I had this dream of this idea, and I looked at theaters for years. So I was never against it. I went into all these different rooms, and I was never able to dream up the show that I was like super excited about in my head. And then I walked in, I limped because I had a broken leg from a skydive right after Ascension with the balloon. So I crutched into Resorts World with the whole team. And my agent was like, "You got to come look at this room. Trust me on this." And I was like, "Okay, I have a broken leg, but let's go." So we drove from LA to Vegas, and I sat on this back seat all the way with my leg up. And when I got there, the team was kind of laughing because I have these ideas for what I want to do that sound insane, which was like, "Oh, I want to jump from the top. I want to ride balloons. I want to do this. I want to do that." And I looked at the room, and suddenly I was like, "Whoa, this is it." And that planted the seed. I think everybody there involved thought I was delusional and out of my mind. But after the last couple of years that we've been working on this, is starting to come together. So it's kind of a dream come true. And a show like this could only happen once or twice a month because physically it's impossible. So the only other space equal to this would be an arena. But to do an arena tour, you have to run it 4 or 5 times a week, which this show, if I did that, I'd be dead. So this is kind of best case scenario for me. It's like I get to work all month, and it's like the most intense cut 2 days of my life, and then take a month to recalibrate, prepare, and get ready to do it again.
You describing walking in and seeing the stage and the venue and these ideas just coming to your head. It reminds me, there's that movie that just came out about Elvis. And when Elvis walked into the International, the character of Elvis, he started getting these ideas. I want this 18-piece band. I want to do this. I want to do that. Again, you have never done a residency before, and you say you're going to have your traditional, what people would come to expect of a magic show, but also you say never before attempted feats. I mean, what does that really mean? I mean, can you give us any kind of tease as to what a never before attempted feat would be?
It means you have a show that's full of all of my craziest stunts that I've worked my entire life on in one night. So it means, there's balloons that I can float with. There's things to jump into. There's water tanks that are huge aquariums shaped like spheres. So there's basically everything that I've ever thought of, plus cards. There's magic. There's a whole show in the middle. So it has every single element of my entire career, kind of like the best of the best plus all new rolled into one. Not to sound like I'm hyping it up, but I could give it like this. All of my friends, which are, never ever do this, every friend that I have from childhood to recent is all flying in for night one. So this is the first time that like the people closest to me are kind of like, oh shit, he's going for it.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's awesome. I love that. You talked earlier about a physical toll that these shows take. Down here in Houston, I work with a wrestling Hall of Famer, Booker T, and I see a lot of parallels between Magic Illusions and professional wrestling. It's an incredible mental toll, but also an unbelievable physical one that I don't think people really can understand what people go through when doing these performances. Can you speak to the physical toll that it takes out on you to put on a show like this?
Well, I can just tell you that training for these things in the last 8 weeks now, I'm down 27 pounds just from the training of it. So just from getting ready to do the things I'm doing, it's, your body's shifting, like morphing in a way that, I've only when training extreme for, holding my breath for the world record type stuff. So that's what the show is. So it's like that.
27 pounds. Oh my gosh. When I was a kid, my folks got me these Johnny Carson tapes. The Tonight Show host Johnny Carson, the legend. Of course, you've had some iconic,
Yeah.
iconic
Yeah.
appearances on the Tonight Show. But Johnny was a magician when he started out, and I remember hearing about that. So I ran down here in Houston to Frankel's Magic Shop, and I started taking lessons. I never made it past the cups and balls. However, I think that uh, time that Johnny Carson spent as a magician made him a better comic due to the timing that it takes to pull off some of the illusions. I've always wanted to know, do you find that there's a correlation between comedy and magic?
Yeah, not just between that, but lots of scientists, lots of people that I've met that are top of their fields throughout the years all started with magic. So magic, I think, gives you this learning curve of logic and science and math and psychology and timing and public performance. I think there's so much rolled into one that it does lend a hand to anything that you want to do later in life. So I agree with you on that.
Okay. You've also done some of the most incredible tricks. We talked about you and Jimmy Fallon on the Tonight Show the other night was great. Do you have a favorite of your celebrity interactions or reaction to one of your illusions?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, but one of the highlights was Stephen Hawking because I was told he's not seeing anybody. He's not in a good mood. He's been in a lot of pain. I went up to Oxford, or was it Cambridge? I want to know. I went up to Cambridge to visit him, and started doing magic for him, and immediately, you think he's not going to react, and suddenly he's smiling, and you can see he's giddy, and that was pretty amazing for meeting a celebrity. I have to say, yeah, he was great. But there's so many along. Harrison Ford was incredible.
That was one of the
But,
best ever.
Meeting all my childhood favorites and people I look up to. Yeah, that's been and the reactions are always amazing. So I'm lucky with that.
Man, it's just a pleasure to talk to you again. September 30th, it all starts. The residency for David Blaine at the Resorts Casino. Make sure you go to davidblaine.com, get your tickets. David, I really appreciate you joining us this morning. It was really honored to talk to you, my friend.
Thank you, Brad. And you better come, by the way.
I'm going to be there.
So
I got to. I love Vegas. You don't need to twist my arm, David.
All right, but give me a heads up.
I will. David Blaine, thanks so much.
All right.